Hello Sagittarius, welcome back to Mind, Body and Heart Tower Therapy. I've been gone for a while, but yes, here I am back to doing the readings as I did for a while. I hope you're well, Sagittarius. I hope this 2020 didn't take too much of you and that you managed to navigate it with grace. And now let's do the reading for your season. Happy birthday, Sagittarius. And let's wrap up this year. So December for Sagittarius, what are interesting. By the way, just before I started reading, my fire alarm went off because of the I was burning some frankincense. So it's very interesting. Let's see now. Okay, Sagittarius, what is the energy? Ooh, wow. Okay, so you have the Four of Wands, the Knight of Pentacles, and the Four of Swords. Okay, what's the advice for my dear Sagittarius? Wow, you've got so many fours. Ooh, Four of Pentacles and Ace of Cups. This is your advice, and this is kind of like your energy, the energy available to you. Okay, I hope you can see this. And let's see what's the underlying energy. The world. Well, we're wrapping up for sure. We're wrapping up the year. We're wrapping up a lot of lessons. Astrologically speaking, there's like a big wrap up happening with Saturn, Jupiter, and Pluto moving out from Capricorn forward into Aquarius. And we're definitely wrapping up the lessons that we've learned from these dynamics. Yeah, let's clarify these cards. Write these cards here. I have the Mother of Wands, the Ten of Cups. This is Four of Swords here. The Star. Gorgeous. And let's clarify the advice, please. Two of Swords, and I like that it's an eclipse because we have an eclipse in your sign happening on the 15th of December, right? So yeah, okay, let's talk through this. It's a lot going on here. So you have the World with the Eight of Cups as your current and as the underlying energy, the theme of your reading. So my dear Sagittarius, this month of December, and also your season, most of it, because we're moving into Capricorn towards the end of the month, you're gonna leave something seriously behind, and I think that you're gonna leave it voluntarily. So this is not gonna be I'm not saying that there's not gonna be any pain. It's always a pain when change happens, because we need to transition and leave something behind for sure. But I think it's voluntary. You do it on your own will, and you're doing it also with your lessons learned. So you're finally moving on, especially on emotional level, from something that maybe it's been heavy on you for quite a while. And I would say I would go wild and say maybe for the last 3 years, given the heaviness of these planets in Capricorn. And I think it has to do a lot also of your emotional stability and being able to get that to acquire, I don't want to say acquire, but to attain a certain emotional stability that just comes from within yourself. And I'm talking about stability because this is an 8 and there's so many fours here. And you have a Ten of Cups here. Haha, great. So you're going out there to see what else is there. You're going into your new adventure and start a new journey, going through this portal of the world in which you're taking a moment, you're assessing the lessons that you've learned, you're going back and really understand what was this all about. But you see you're moving forward, her body's moving forward, and you're also quite open right now to receive like these higher messages from your deepest, wisest side of yourself, and depends how you report to the world and to the what's your cosmology. You can say from your higher self, or from the universe, or from God, or from wherever, angels, what, however you report to the world. But we can also just say it from your wisest side of yourself, with the part of yourself that um, can access that place of unconditional love and nourish itself from it, and also understand the soul journey and the lessons. So lessons learned, Sagittarius, is beautiful, really beautiful. And look at this. We have the Four of Wands with the Mother of Wands. And Mother of Wands here is definitely you. The Four of Wands talks about being able to build this like beautiful spiritual foundation for yourself. Your belief system makes sense and it's supporting you, and you can build upon it to move forward in your life. And I think that these lessons that you've learned, that you've gone through, have been quite important for you to be able to build this foundation, to be able to find your power, and to allow, like, I love that the ones in this deck, the wild unknown, are portrayed as snakes in the court cards. And snakes talk about healing and talk about transformation, shedding of skins, and snakes are actually very grounded, very powerful creatures, and they've been revered as healing agents for generations in many traditions. So you've done a lot of your personal healing. You've been shedding off quite a lot of skins with this world here, and you reached a level of maturity, of emotional maturity and spiritual maturity, that you can move forward with knowledge of your own. I mean, we all learn from traditions. I, for example, draw a lot from Buddhism and from psychology, for example, and from a number of other stuff, obviously tarot. But at some point, and other people come from different traditions, but at some point we learn these lessons for ourselves, And I love this in Buddhism, that they say, like, okay, don't take my word for it. Go practice and learn for yourself. And there's an emphasis on deconditioning it. So we're like, okay, you need to learn to meditate. You need to learn to do certain things. You need to learn the Dharma. You need to learn this, and this. But at some point, there's a point of unlearning, in which we need to experience for ourselves and withdraw the knowledge from within. And then we know it's real. It's not just about believing blindly. And I think you're at this point with the Mother of Wands here, like, she's fully empowered, she's very spiritual, she's a spiritual nurse as well. She's able to hold space for others in order to have their own experience. And she's a guide, not in the sense that's necessarily teaching others what life is all about, but she's able to have her own experience and recognize when other is going through their own moments, and is able to act as a portal as well, as a channel and as a guide, and hold space. That's important. Yeah, so there's a lot going on here. This is a beautiful moment in this sense. And with the Knight of Pentacles and the Ten of Cups here, I think you're also having a moment now to really take a look at what is valuable for you in the physical world. Like, how do you want to spend your time? Who do you want to spend your time with? Where are you going to plant this pentacle here, which is what you put value into. and you take a moment, you take the vantage point, you look around, and you're not rushing into, okay, this relationship, these people, having to have this particular job. It's more like sensing into it and really checking in with yourself. What is it? What makes you happy? What brings you joy? And I'm not talking about this privileged, oh my goodness, I will only do what is what I like. Because that is beautiful as it sounds, it's also a privilege, and we don't all have that privilege. But it's more about understanding like things that are within our control. Maybe I can't fully control right now how what am I gonna do for a living, or we sometimes need to do things that are we don't fully enjoy, out of responsibility and out of being a kind person, being. But the thing is that we can choose to how we spend, like wherever we have choice. Do I really need to meet with this group of people? Do I really need their approval? Do I really need to do the extra job, or can I do with less money and more time? What is best for me? What does really bring me joy? Do I need to attend these particular gatherings? Well, we're in COVID times, probably not many gatherings happening, whether they're online or not, doesn't matter. That's the point. Where do I plant my seed? Where do I put my time in? Where do I put my money in? Do I want to, I don't know, watch a movie or read a book or meditate or dance with myself? Things like this. And this will help you a lot, because this is something that I think you're already doing it. This is probably in the making, in the process. You're in the process of this right now, and it's actually influenced by the Gemini full moon that just happened. That was an emphasis on this as well, of how do we spend our day-to-day life, step-by-step moments, in order to bring ourselves peace and joy, and to not just have those moments of like tower moments of awakening, which can be quite rough and quite exciting eventually. But also, how do if we affect change in our lives through day by day little promises that we keep to ourselves, little routines, little rituals, and yeah, what do we eat, what do we drink, how much, and so on, and how do we spend our time in general. Okay, so you have also the Four of Swords and the Star. I read all these more or less as like what's kind of going on for you in the moment, and this is your advice. There's nothing necessarily planning I mean, like, okay, you can look at this as real future, like near future, in wrapping up this month, right? Um, this Four of Swords and the Star are telling me that this month you're really doing a lot of healing. The Four of Swords it's this time of rest, time of meditation, going within, calming the mind, allowing the mind to rest. It may be that is naturally your mind is a little bit more serene, or it may be that you're practicing a lot more because you feel the need for your mind to be more serene, so that you can allow this deep healing to take place with the star. It's a really beautiful moment of um, building also a stability for your mind frame, for your mind process. We are practicing what is called what's it called? Neuroplasticity, when we are learning to recondition ourselves, whether it's through pop culture, or whether you do therapy, or whether you're do it consciously or unconsciously. We're constantly programming and reprogramming ourselves, whether we reiterate an old program, or we're consciously starting to install a new one. with positive psychology and affirmations and things like this and mantras and even these readings, they're meant to bring you a certain awareness so that your mind can reframe where you're at and how can you use this energy, right? So the Four of Swords talks a lot about this, about like creating a mental structure. Coping mechanisms are incredibly important, and we usually rely on not so healthy coping mechanism, which we've put together with the age of about 5, when hard life started happening and we just didn't know how to deal with this, and we felt maybe rejected or not good enough or conditioned in so many ways. So we've erected these like very childlike and childish mechanisms and belief systems that are now also being maybe replaced with some healthier, more mature ones, and then sustained by this thought processes, where you understand that your thoughts aren't necessarily you. Actually, they're not you at all. They're just something that's happening to you, and you learn to maybe not identify with your thoughts all that much, and to not take every thought that passes through your mind as reality. And whether it's something that sounds glorious or whether there is something that sounds self-deprecating, these are just thoughts that come kind of on their own. We don't really have control over your mind, and that's not the point of meditation. The point is to not get attached to your thoughts, and I think this is what's happening. You're learning this month, and this can bring an amazing healing and also an openness to the universe, again, to messages from beyond your ego mind that can be said, again, can be from the body, wisdom, your gut, your heart, your awareness, your spaces within you that you don't usually have access because of the chattering of the mind, or yeah, from again, depends on your cosmology and how you relate to the world and to yourself and to divinity, but from the divine beloved, from the collective consciousness, from the universal heart, from wherever, again, from that beyond. And then is your advice. I think it's important for you now to put your affairs in order and on the physical realm. Yeah, I mean, create a structure. Create a structure that's simple. I wake up at this time. I do this morning ritual, say meditation or whatever, do yoga, blah 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 blah, go for a walk, go for a run, do your thing. And then like, even if it's just 4 things that are fixed in the day, including your meal or your meals and things like this, it's important to do it because it gives you a framework and a structure to work with, and some boundaries for your time, for your sometimes we can just drift around. And you, Sagittarius, I know you're not a big fan of routines at all. But I know that also throughout your life and throughout the lessons that you're learning, you start to value them a little bit more. Value the structure that you can build for yourself, because this can give rise to exactly this, to an openness of the heart. Because if we're not constantly on defense, because we already have some things clear, and we're not constantly on search, okay, what am I do now, or am I drifting in, things like this, and we have this simple framework that we can, it's a container, you're creating a container for yourself here. Container for your practice, container for your spiritual practice, for your mental health, for your physical health, and for you to flourish and to open and to connect with yourself at the deepest level, and to connect also with the collective unconscious, with the collective and to understanding the world at a deeper place, at an emotional place, to understand that we are all driven by the same suffering. We all suffer in the same exact ways, whether it manifests in different coping mechanisms or not. We all need to be loved. We all need to connect, to feel seen, to feel accepted, to feel nourished. And we have the same basic needs. We just can go to amazing rationalizations and ways, strategies to either get them or not feel them, because we just don't know how to get it. But the moment we're really connecting to our heart, and we're connecting to this like compassionate way of relating to others, then a different door opens, and that's when it kind of like spills in, like the love within, and we can nourish ourselves from it, and we can connect also to the rest of the world with this compassion, and everything feels less threatening, and we are less triggered by the differences, and by what's maybe sounds crazy to us, like why would you vote for that one, or why would you do such horrible actions, or it's all coming from pain and suffering. And the moment we're able to see that and to feel that, then somehow we suffer less from our own triggers and things like this. And with these two of swords here coming also as your advice on top of all this, with this eclipse, it's a sun eclipse, so that's exactly what's going to happen actually on the 15th, the full sun eclipse, new moon, full sun eclipse, how to say that, on the 15th, I think, of December, depends on your time zone, of course, in Sagittarius. And it's coming also with the swords energy, the two, so that means that you need to really look at what's hiding in your emotional realm, in your subconscious mind. And it's not the time to necessarily put it out there and communicate or act out of it, but just to be with it. Eclipses have this wonderful capacity of showing us hidden things that are hidden to our awareness, and the mind takes a peek into this deep side of your subconscious mind, where you've maybe hidden and bottled up a lot of emotions because you just didn't know how to deal with them or cope with them. And so it's usually an automatic mechanism. But you're gonna get a chance to look into it, and please, please, please do it with a lot of gentleness and kindness for yourself and also for others. This is a card of diplomacy and non-reactiveness, like kind of sitting with it, and waiting for the information to settle. And this really builds up a lot in this whole theme of moving on into the next chapter with awareness and with the lessons learned, and doing so on your own volition. Okay, let's see what's the message from, oh, that was quick, Rumi Oracle card. It's number 31, and it's called Commitment. Can you see this? It's beautiful. Okay, let's see what am I gonna read, because these are really, really long reads. Okay, looks like this one is not that long. Okay, I'm gonna read the poem from Rumi, which says, "The awakened heart is like a lantern. Keep it sheltered from the turbulence of the winds of desire." Rumi. Okay, that's very interesting. So there is a flame that must be safeguarded. In truth, it can never be extinguished. It is the light that never goes out. Even with such enduring power, our recognition and respect of this flame is essential to human development. This flame is holy and lies within each human heart. When the flame is recognized for its worth, it ceases to flicker and smoke, becoming very still. It ceases to flicker and smoke, becoming very still. In the stillness, the light can fulfill its destiny to shine brightly so as to reveal every path absolutely clear and without wavering in the fluctuations of fear and attachment. Desire does not have to be a hindrance on the path. It can show us our passions and help us find our purpose. However, the attachment that can come with desire, the belief that it can be sated only with one particular person, one set of circumstances, can cause us to stop looking at what the light is revealing to us, the way forward on our path in the here and now, and instead try to forcibly conjure the shadows to become what we imagine they should be. Okay, I really think this is incredibly important, and I think that this particular this Knight of Pentacles of the Ten of Cups here, it's really hinting at this understanding that the desire and the wanting to be joyful and happy and understanding what makes us happy doesn't need to be a hindrance. Doesn't need to be a hindrance like, okay, I need or want something. Our needs and wants shouldn't be a problem. More like limiting it to the ego's understanding of what that it should look like is the problem, or become a problem, because then we would try to forcibly conjure the shadows to become what we imagine they should be, and that's when we fall into the ego trap. Okay, that's really beautiful and very deep. When we stop seeing life as it is, showing up for us every moment and engaging with it as it is, we can become careless with the light of the heart. Our huffing and puffing to force what does not need to be forced can cause the heart light to flicker and waver. This can make our way seem uncertain, and doubts can crowd in upon us as the light is compromised in its purpose. We forget to trust in what it is because we get caught up in attachment and fear surrounding our desires. Rather than letting life move us, we try to move life. This is actually a lot about my little problem with the new age movement and the law of attraction in general. People tend to believe that, okay, I put all my effort into manifesting things in the same way or in a certain way, and it goes down to very specific, oh, I want this person, I want that job, I want these things, these are the only things that can make me happy. And we try to force life to be something that it's not, instead of opening ourselves for what is and learning to and accept that and surrender to that as a bigger intelligence, but this beautifully puts together that surrender without making it feel like losing a battle. Okay. There is a way forward on your life path that needs to be seen by you now. It will be helpful for you to have that clarity and that certainty. That's the Four of Swords. Actually, by calming the mind, it brings a lot of clarity. Where was I? You might have already caught a glimpse of it, but be doubting your vision or yourself. This oracle comes as a reminder to you. Don't doubt what you are feeling deep within the passionate love of your heart light. This Ace of Cups. What you are feeling deep within the passionate love of your heart light is true. It's real. You are being led into it by the progress of life itself. You must trust in this, even if it seems at times as though you are being led away from the vision. Life operates according to a genius that is beyond the linear approach. It is to be trusted rather than understood. There is enough challenge in the personal transformation being asked of you to simply take the steps. Take the steps. This is very practical. That is more than enough. You do not have to also create or control the terrain nor determine the map for the journey. You simply need to take each step that presents itself to you in each moment. Don't let fear that your desire won't manifest cause you try to bend your life to your will. It is an unnecessary battle and one that will not serve your soul here. Instead, just show up, be present, attend to what is before you in each moment, and trust yourself. Let the light of your heart take you into serenity that will bring you the balm of a solid core of comfort, even whilst the world shifts and changes according to the workings of divine will. As you move along your life journey step by step, the divine will is moving you to Shining One, into fulfillment of your destiny. Life is not working at cross purposes with you. Far from it. It is a co-conspirated with your heart. Come back to the stillness of the love within and know your heart lights to be what it is, reliable and true, showing you the way even now in peace and stillness. This is wrapping up the message fantastically with all this force here and this moment of like really taking the steps and understanding what the steps are for you. It's really putting it into words in the best way possible. And this is your heart opening, and you're creating this like shelter, the container for your heart for your inner light to find its stillness. All right, beautiful. So there is a ritual here. If you want to go with it and do it, go for it. If not, just let it go. You take care of yourself here. And the ritual says, if you can light a candle, please do so. If that is not practical, simply visualize or imagine a flame in your mind's eye. If you cannot do that easily, then simply say a call upon the sacred flame of divine love now. I actually have a candle here. Well, I don't know if this is going to be practical. We can try. Okay. Anyway, I call upon the sacred flame of divine love now. Then say aloud, the light of my heart does not waver. It is fixed by the will of the divine and lit by the greatest flame, forever a light in the temple of one love. Rumi, who safeguards the sacred flame of love, together may we bear serene witness. Together may we bear serene witness to the revelations of the light within, that the way always be shown pure and true, and the courage to act when needed, and the patience to best serve love is found within our hearts. So be it. You have finished your sacred honoring ritual. If you did light a candle, you may like to leave it burning for a time under supervision, or simply with reverence extinguish it. Alright, my dear Sagittarius, well, this makes perfect sense to me. I hope it makes perfect sense to you as well. All these forces here are telling you, take that moment to really create the container, to create take the steps, don't fight against life, be with it, open up to the guidance from the higher realms or from the deepest realms of your heart, wisdom. All right, beloved, have a wonderful end of the year. And again, happy birthday to those of you that are still, that have had or are still having birthdays. And may our practice benefit all beings.